Ishfaq Ahmed Rather, a true beacon of inspiration and a realm of civil service mentorship. Ishfaq's journey is a testament to dedication, perseverance, and passion for service. Currently, he serves as a guiding force at Safi College, where his multifaceted role as a faculty commenter for the IS batch, along with his coordination of the IS Foundation batch, underscores his unwavering dedication to nurturing the next generation of leaders. Through his tireless efforts, Ishfaq Ahmed Rather has become synonymous with inspiration, transforming aspirations into achievements and dreams into tangible realities. Today, Signature have the honor of delving into his remarkable journey, a journey defined by service, leadership, and a relentless pursuit of excellence.
Hello everyone, hope this message finds you well. Today we are going to have a very special interview in Signature. Since the beginning of this journey, it's the very first time we are diving into an English interview. It's also my first time too, and it's very personal. Let's cherish this moment together and enjoy this conversation ahead. So yeah, it's my privilege to introduce a beacon of inspiration in the realm of civil service mentoring. Currently, he's working at Safi College as faculty commenter for IS batch, and he is also the coordinator of IS Foundation batch. Welcome, Ishfaq Ahmed Rather, sir. Hello, sir.
Hi, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. How are you?
It's all good, sir. It was my long-standing wish to have a meaningful dialogue with you. Yeah, finally I'm here. So happy for us.
Yeah, I do feel honored to be here on this platform, sharing my views with your audience. It's indeed a great honor. Thanks a lot.
Okay, it's my pleasure, sir. Let me start this conversation with an enticing exordium. Well, in every interview board, the interviewers will ask the people to introduce themselves, right?
Yeah.
So, if I were to ask you to describe yourself, how will you respond? I mean, how will you craft yourself?
Yeah, basically myself from district Baramulla of UT, Jammu and Kashmir. I did my basic schooling from my native village, government higher secondary school Hardashura. Then I did my graduation with economics subject as the core subject. I have done masters from University of Kashmir. Then after doing my masters, I started preparing for UPSC examination, wrote mains, appeared in JKPSC interview as well. And from last couple of years, I have been teaching UPSC aspirants their economy subject, and I also do their mentoring for this examination.
Okay, sir. I mean, it's always revitalizing to hear someone speaking so particularly about themselves, right? So
Yeah.
that's a good kick, sir.
Yeah.
So, coming to our subject, can you share your academic journey and experience in civil service mentoring?
It was in 2020, in the COVID times. I had already wrote my mains and had appeared in interview. I needed little bit finances for my studies. I started teaching civil service aspirants.
Yeah.
Basically, I had one friend of mine. He had seen some things in me that Ishfaq could be a good teacher for UPSC aspirants. He gave me a chance there in Srinagar. So I started teaching economy because I had a master's in the subject.
Yeah.
And that was my first time when I started teaching there in Srinagar. Earlier I had told 11th and 12th class students their economics subject. And when I started teaching UPSC aspirants, there were some reputed academies, and students started rushing towards this new academy, and they could see a little bit difference in economics teaching, especially for UPSC aspirants. So that way I too could realize, yeah, there is something in me. I can contribute to society this way, being a good teacher, because students felt difference when a master's candidate teach them economy, because that is altogether different than the ones who teach who have done graduation or who have done BTech and then they start teaching Indian economy to UPSC aspirants. So their specialization matters a lot, and that way it started. Then the demand started coming from other academies as well. Okay, Ishfaq sir teaches economy, let's give him a chance, because students started spreading the message that this teacher belongs to economics and he's the one who can teach it a better way. So it started that way, and I started teaching then in other academies as well. And along with that, I was keeping into consideration my preparation as well. I was preparing for exam and again. It was not written in fate, I could not make that in the final list, but yeah, it was a very good journey. I was improving every day because this market is quite competitive, it's very challenging.
Yeah, it's very demanding, right?
Yeah, you have to update yourself every day with current affairs. You need to rearrange your thoughts again and again. You need to go back to all the basics and shape them again and again so that it will match the current demands of the students. So that makes UPSC teacher, I think, better every day. He improves every day in this profession.
So with the same question, I'm repeating the same thing, that what actually motivated you to pursue this career?
Yeah, it was basically since my childhood there was something that I loved interacting with others. That was something in me. Whenever I used to get any chance in school or at my family level, I used to have students in front of me and discussing some ideas with them that could help them in their future. So that thing was there, and we all know that it's a prophetic profession being a teacher. So one thing was there that I tried to improve myself during my graduation days, during my masters. Then once I had that content in me about my own subject and other subjects as well, I thought it would be better if I could guide students from my valley especially, because the state needs somebody, they need good teachers there.
Yeah.
Baramulla, that is a northernmost district of our country.
Yeah.
So it's not like Delhi, it's not like other cities of our country. So they needed somebody who has studied from Delhi, who knows what is the demand of the market. So if we can take such message to those corners of our country, I think that is better. That is the better way one can contribute for the betterment of our country. So that was the thing in my mind, ki I have to be there for them. In case I couldn't get it, there should be someone by me who will crack this exam, who can be an asset for the country in future.
Okay, I'm just holding this conversation and cutting into very light. I'm taking back you to your childhood days, your longing aspirations and all. I've heard that you were born and brought up in Kashmir, right? Yeah. So tell us about that.
It's back in 90s when I was born, and 90s decade in Kashmir is regarded as very challenging decade, because that was the decade when militancy in Kashmir was at peak.
Yeah.
So I'm the guy of that generation. So we 1990s decade students of Kashmir Valley, we have seen too much, be it crackdowns, be it shutdowns and all. Mostly we were not to schools. So the condition at those times were very tough. So out of those conditions, we moved forward with all the experience of that traumatic years in our lives. But that didn't stop us anywhere. So we were given good education. We fought with all other people who were doing their best schooling from other parts of the country. And my life as childhood, it was full of wildness.
Wildness.
So wildly, I used to play with birds. I used to play with animals there. Okay. I used to be in the mountains because I'm from Gulmarg area. Mm-hmm. Gulmarg, it's the very famous ski spot of our country, where people all over the world come for skiing. So doing skiing in winter and in summer playing in apple gardens, that was my childhood activities, and playing with the guys of our village, like cricket. I am very good cricketer as well. I play cricket, I do bowling, I used to play volleyball with my friends, and along with that there was little bit touch of being an academic student. I used to study too much for my studies as well, but it was more or less an all-round activity. I never relied on any one activity only as a student only. So I tried to grow myself as an all-rounder in different activities. That way I used to do it.
So what was your longing aspiration during that time?
Learning, one thing that I acquired from those days is that once you do different activities on your own. So when I was playing cricket, at times I used to be made captain of my team. So I learned how to make decisions, how to keep whole players intact, how to make decisions in the team. So those leadership qualities, sportsmanship, those things I learned from a very young age. And in school as well, we used to have debates or group discussion, quiz. So I always used to participate in them. So those things helped me a lot. Once I joined the competitive market for jobs and all, I could see it was basically my schooling days. It was basically my childhood days when I used to engage with the society without my parental help. Those days had basically brought me up. Those had made me very strong. And right now, whenever I face any challenge in life, it feels quite easy for me, because because the upbringing has been such that I could take challenges at a very young age. When I was just 14 years old, 15 years old, 18 years old, at that time I was taking decisions for others. Now it feels a little bit easy, though life is not easy for anyone, anytime.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if parents give chance to their kids, to their wards at a very young age to fight for themselves, don't spoon feed them. So I think those kids become very strong. They can challenge, they can take challenge anywhere in the country, and they can be good contributors for the society in future. Those things helped me a lot.
Yeah, since you have mentioned about the confrontations and challenges you have faced during the time, so actually civil services is it's a journey to large-mindedness, right?
Yeah.
Self-discipline, determination, perseverance, it really matters. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, you're right. After my master's degree, when I see the level of competition in the society, till my master's degree, I only knew about my own subject, economics. So there were many students from other good reputed schools of our state. So I had an interaction with them during masters. So one thing I found in them, their basics were very strong.
Yeah.
They had good hold on politics, they had very good on economy, on history, on current affairs, knowing everything what is happening around them. So we were a little bit lacking there, somebody who had came from northern districts, far-flung areas. So I made that decision that how can I be like them? So there is only one examination that can develop my personality, that was UPSC examination. So that time I made my mind, I should go for UPSC preparation. Because for UPSC you have to revise all your basics again. The basics which I had missed little bit than others. So I went back to history, I went back to economy, to geography, all those things. And that groomed my personality like anything. So that was the thing that motivated for UPSC again and again. So the more I read about UPSC, more I evolved over a period of time. So the way I was Ishfaq in 2015, it's altogether different the way I am right now in 2024. So that was the thing there for UPSC journey. I will take this challenge. It's the toughest examination of the country. But if somebody remains honest during his preparation, his personality develops like anything during this phase of the preparation, and UPSC prepares him for any challenge of the life. It's not only whether he qualifies the exam or not, even if he doesn't qualify, whatever circumstances, whatever opportunities will be given to such a candidate who has prepared for UPSC, honestly, I believe he can manage that nicely, because he has the content, he knows everything about him, he has the hold on everything, he can do better.
Okay, delving more into this administrative service, I think all people have certain skill sets, right?
Yeah.
Someone will be too good in writing, another person will be having very strong, very vigorous oration skill. So what are the skills and qualities that do you believe that are very quintessential for the success in civil servants?
I believe one thing is very important to be a good civil servant or somebody who will qualify this examination. There is not the one thing that is right now in our society, that it has to be some genius students, they only crack this examination, or someone who has been topper always in 10th class, 12th class, position holders. This examination doesn't demand like that.
Yeah.
This examination needs a moderate student who has got a grade of 60%. 65%, even 50% candidate during his graduation in 10th class, but somebody who has perseverance and patience, someone who can read 8 hours but for 3 years, not 8 hours for 6 months, who has the patience to go for the dream. If there is any candidate of that sort, and who has little bit hold on basics as well, we can't ignore that, but somebody who can read again and again, who can be in the library for 2-3 years consistently, such person is needed in UPSC examination, such persons qualify this examination. And those who started earlier, I mean, if somebody starts it after 12th class or during his graduation, he gets an X factor. He is little bit ahead than others. Most of the students, after doing their graduation, completing their graduation BTech, or somebody has done his masters, then they enter UPSC market. They feel little bit challenged there, because someone who has done it during graduation, he is far ahead than them. He saves 2-3 years of his preparation. So I believe those who have the dream of going for UPSC examination, even if they have moderate level, they should take the decision just after 12th class. This is my decision, I will go for this examination. They can start their basics with the NCRTs. They can select their optional as per their interest. It's not necessary the topper has got good score in sociology, I will take sociology as optional, or somebody has toppered the examination this year with English literature. Whatever you are good at, the subject in which you have interest, that's testy for you, in which you can write better. I think students should take that subject as his or her optional, or the subject in which you have done graduation, that was your subject in honors, that's far better, because even if a difficult question comes to you, you can somehow manage that question. Once we take a new subject about which we don't know anything, we have to start that from zero, scratch, and whenever any typical twist question comes in that subject, we little bit fumble there. So better would be start the journey during graduation, don't wait for doing it after graduation or doing it after masters. And the person who has the patience to prepare 2-3 years for the examination, I believe he or she can qualify this exam with ease. There's no problem in that.
Yeah, Ishfaq sir, I still wonder, the one who undergoes civil service practice often experience a lot of stress and pressure. So how can we deal with it all with this?
Yeah, that's a very important question. Most of the candidates, aspirants, once they come for UPSC preparation, after studying it for 1 year, taking coaching for 1 year, once the result doesn't come, because the system of examination is such, even if you qualify prelims examination, you qualify mains examination, if you got dropped in your personality test, you have to give prelims examination again. Okay. And prelims is the toughest part of this examination, where you have to cover everything out of the sun.
It's actually a very long journey.
Yeah, it's a very long journey. So once somebody falls in his mains or at his interview stage, he comes again to zero level. So he sees where my friends are right now. They will be somewhere else. They have done masters till then. Somebody will be in a very good job, earning too much. That student feels, I'm still there. I had started where I am. So the societal pressure comes to his mind. Yeah. So that way, stress starts increasing in the mind of the aspirant, because the success rate is very low. It's just 1%, less than 1% who will qualify the examination. Others won't qualify the examination because seats are limited. But I think, how can students fight for that stress? Everybody does that. It's not only me or she who is facing stress. Everyone, even if somebody tops UPSC examination, he or she is fighting with stress and all these things. What we need to do is we have to be in such an environment where aspirants are preparing for this examination. We should not study it only from the home, because you will be lonely there. You will feel all others doing different stuff, different work. I am the only one who is studying and getting failure again and again in UPSC. Once you are in such an environment where people are studying for UPSC examination, there will be one who has wrote UPSC 5 times. So that will motivate you more. I am just in my second attempt. You see the one who has wrote it 5 times, he is still preparing or she is still preparing. That motivates the candidate again. So he has to be in such an environment where people are studying only for UPSC examination, and he or she needs to think it again and again. Why did I start this journey? There must be any reason why he or she wants to be UPSC officer one day. So if one goes back to that thing, why I started it, she will get that motivation again. Okay, that was the reason. I have not achieved that yet. So she or he will follow her dream again and again. So I believe environment plays a very important role, and having a good mentor who can help this aspirant when he or she feels low, feels less motivated. Mentorship also plays a very important role for this aspirant community during the part of UPSC preparation.
Okay, sure. Okay. Delving into your studies, you have done your masters in economics,
yeah.
right? So my question is, how does your economic expertise contribute to addressing the complex societal challenges within this service?
Yeah, that's a nice question. See, I will tell you one important example. I will correlate that to your question. Yeah. We had one important prophet. His name is Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. So that prophet was thrown away by his stepbrothers early part of his life.
Okay.
Ultimately, he was taken by Egyptian king. His people got him from a well, and the king had no son. So his wife told the husband, okay, we can have, he's very beautiful, we can upbring him in our family. So once they saw the loyalty, the honesty of that prophet, ultimately they told him, what you want to be. You are now under king's family, you can have any post in Egypt. So he told them, I want to be the finance minister of Egypt.
Yeah.
So that was a very important post, because finance means dealing with wealth. And economics is the subject that teaches students how to deal with wealth. So I believe somebody who has done graduation in economics, somebody who has done masters in economics, he is the candidate who is most suitable for any post of the country, because they know all the integrities of the taxation system, how the monetary policy of India, how inflation can be curtailed, how fiscal policy of India is framed, how balance of payments go, or how the taxation, what are the positives of GST, what will be the negatives of GST. All these things are taught to economics students, and these are very important. They play a very important part to run the country. So if somebody with economics knowledge enters bureaucracy, qualifies the examination, I think he can be best secretary for the country, he can be best district collector for the country, because he knows how to implement the policies and how to get maximum satisfaction out of minimum resources. Because in economics we deal with scarcity of the resources. The one problem that every nation, every country faces, that is scarcity. Resources are not unlimited, but human wants are unlimited and means to satisfy them are limited. How to get maximum satisfaction, how to get maximum profit? By spending less, having less cost, having less income, and gaining much utility, which we call as satisfaction. So economics student can make that better. So if you are a district collector with economics knowledge, you will be having less funds. Still you can maximize the welfare of your people in your district. If you are a secretary of particular ministry and funding will be less, you are facing any sort of challenge at the ground level, with economics knowledge I think you can deal that well. So economics students, I think they are better in that manner. They can use their knowledge of economics anywhere in the administration of the country.
That was a good insight, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for the information.